Hey everyone, excited to be back for this week's edition of Frequently Asked Questions for Commercial Real Estate. Today I thought what I'd do is provide you with a host of different questions that you should consider asking a potential commercial real estate agent before you start working with them. Now the reason why I think this is extremely important is because not every commercial real estate agent out there is going to be right for you, your business, or your investment criteria. So the more that you can ask to screen them out on the front end, it'll save you a significant amount of heartache on the back end. So today what I thought I'd do in this video is share with you 5 key questions that you should consider asking a commercial real estate agent before you pull the trigger and start working with them to identify property for you. So the first question you should consider asking, which I think is the most important, is what geographic locations do you specialize in? Now the reason why I think this is probably the most important question you should ask a commercial real estate agent is because real estate itself is location specific. What do I mean by this? An office building in Louisville, Kentucky, in downtown Louisville, Kentucky, is going to be completely different than an office building in New York City, in Manhattan, for example. There's various reasons why this would be different. Maybe the lease types that are common in the market are going to be different. So, for example, here in Louisville, Kentucky, most often leases are gross leases, meaning that the tenant pays a flat rate, and then the landlord is responsible for paying whatever else associated with the building and the operating of the property. However, in New York City, that may be different. Maybe it's a triple net lease where the tenant is responsible for building expenses, maintenance, and insurance along with a rental payment, and the landlord is responsible for a limited amount of upkeep. So there's various different reasons why these two properties may be different. So if you're an office tenant or you're looking to purchase an office building, for example, you need to realize and you want to make sure that the commercial real estate agent is familiar with the area and they specialize in the area that you're looking for. So that's question number 1. Number 2 is how long have you been in the commercial real estate? Now the reason why I think this is an extremely important question is because there's nothing like experience. My broker, for example, has been in the business for 18 to 20 years. And I can't tell you how many times that I've gone to him and said, I have a question on this particular topic. And he's like, I've done three or four of those transactions and this is what I did in these scenarios. And you can't replicate that. It's very hard to replicate those type of scenarios. So the more that a commercial real estate agent has been in the business, and the more transactions that they've done. So for example, you could be in the business for 20 years, but if you've only done 2 transactions during that time frame, it may not be of much value. So if they are a seasoned professional and they've had quite a few transactions under their belt, you can bet that they're going to be able to provide you with a high level of service. Now, if the commercial real estate agent doesn't have a ton of experience, but they're at a brokerage that has a ton of experience that they can lean on throughout the transaction, that also can be one of the criteria that you look at. So number 2 is to see how long they've been in the commercial real estate business, how many transactions they've done, and if they haven't been in the business for a long period of time, at least verify that the brokerage they're with has a good reputation and has that experience that you're really looking for. So number 3 is what kind of businesses do you usually represent? Now the reason why this is extremely important is because in the commercial real estate space, there are a variety of different property types. So there are multifamily properties, there are office buildings, there are industrial properties, there are hospitality. There's various different property types that people can specialize in. And each of those property types are tailored to particular types of businesses. So if you're a commercial real estate agent that specializes in retail, for example, you can help people in the clothing business, in the restaurant business, in the whatever retail related businesses that they're looking to secure a particular building. So if you're in the retail space, let's say you're trying to open up a restaurant, you probably want to find a commercial real estate agent who has worked with restaurant owners before, because they'll know what to look for in a commercial real estate piece of property to make sure that it fits your needs. So number 3 is to make sure that you identify what business uses that the commercial real estate agent works with on a regular basis to make sure they align with what you're looking for. Number 4 is what type of commercial properties do you specialize in? As I just mentioned, there are multiple different types of commercial properties. So for example, I specialize in retail and multifamily. So I work with business owners in the retail space, so restaurant owners, people who are looking to open up grocery stores, people who have gas stations, whatever else in the retail sector. And I also work with investors who look to purchase multifamily properties. That's my specialization. If an industrial tenant wanted to lease commercial space with me, I would help them out, sure, but I don't have that type of experience that someone else in my office. So for example, there's a gentleman in my office named Nick Grisanti, who's done a ton of deals with industrial clients, and he's very familiar with those types of transactions, and it's actually one of the areas that he really likes focusing in. So I'm assuming if someone were to want to lease industrial space, I would feel compelled to refer them to Nick Grisanti because he has that experience and he feels like he can actually provide the best service for that particular client. So number 4 is to determine what type of commercial property they specialize in to make sure that they're able to provide you with the best service possible. And then finally, one of the last questions you should ask someone is, can you provide references from businesses that you worked with? As I mentioned before, there's nothing like experience. So if you're able to contact people that have used that particular person to identify property and they were satisfied with the services, most likely they're going to be able to do a great job for you as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Those are the 5 key questions you should consider asking a commercial real estate agent before you decide to pull the trigger with them. If you're in the Louisville area and you're a retail business or you're looking to identify multifamily properties to invest in, that's my specialization. I love helping business owners and these investors in those areas. So if you want to get in contact with me, my number is 502-536-7315, or you can reach me via email at rafael@grisantigroup.com. Along with that, if you really like this video and you want me to continue to produce this awesome content, feel free to like, share, and subscribe below. I always provide awesome and engaging content related to real estate. So we'll see you guys next week and have a great day. See ya.